Hello everyone, my name is Diana and this is the next episode of my show, and today with me is Gustavs and Alex. Can you tell something about yourself, background?
Yeah, hello, I'm Gustavs. I'm 19, I'm from Latvia, and I'm a first year esports business student here in Kamk.
Yeah, nice. So, hello, my name is Alex. I'm from a small island called Cyprus. I'm also a first year student of esports business here at Kamk, and I'm 22 years old.
Today's topic is music, and how are you connected to music?
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with listening to music, but in the recent past I have also started to create my own songs and writing them, of course. Unfortunately, I'm not making the beats myself, although I would love to do that, but there's a huge learning curve for that. And yeah, I've been listening to music ever since I can remember myself and making it for, I think it's 2 years now. So
I was listening your music and it's really nice.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I will leave the link to your...
Yeah, for sure, do that.
Okay, yeah.
We might not understand anything you say, but it's nice.
Yeah, because it's
nice.
Latvian. Yeah.
If it has a good beat, then just
You can vibe to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my background is I've grown up in a house that music was playing 24/7, basically. I remember my godfather gifting me my first mini guitar when I was 4 years old. Then eventually he took me and bought me my first acoustic guitar, electric guitar, and moved on with that. But when I was about 9, I started having interest in electronic music. So I started diving into the DJ world of things with music production and DJing. So when I was I think around 9, 10, my parents bought me my first small little DJ console, and I started learning on that. When I was 12, I had my first gig in a club, and since then I've never looked back. So it's been more than 10 years now.
Oh wow.
DJing, but music in general has been in my life since ever.
What about your family? Maybe someone was a musician or something?
My aunt, she's a music teacher. Her dad makes musical instruments. My godfather plays music, but not professionally. He just does it as a hobby, as I do. And basically, my grandma plays the piano. We have a antique piano at home that we play. And because of that, my sister has an interest in music right now. So she's learning guitar, bass, more of actual music instruments, not pressing buttons, like me. But it is what it is. Well, yeah, that's it.
I remember before one party, I just saw how you're doing all the DJing thing, and that was crazy. That's really hard. And the cool thing is there are different colors and they're just moving. That's everything I understood. Even you tried to explain, but no. It's really hard.
Practice makes perfect. Once you understand something, when you just click oh, that's how it works, then you actually start being better at what you do in general, not just in music.
What about you, Gustavs? Does your family connected to music?
Yeah, I guess in a sense you can say that, because my mom gave me the name Gustavs because of her favorite rapper. So that's the closest any of my family members gets to being actual musicians or music as a whole. But because of that, my mom thought it's a great idea for me to start attending musical school. So for 4 years I played different instruments such as accordion, piano, guitar, and also cello. I guess that's in English the correct
Cello.
way. Yeah.
And the accordion.
Yeah. So wide spectrum of things, but It was quite nice. It just that I was doing multiple different things outside of that, and I just could not combine all of them, and I had to choose something to stick with. So the music school got like pushed to the side. I quit. I would have liked to graduate it, but you have to make decisions, right? And well, now I'm compensating with not playing the instruments, but just by stealing free beats on YouTube and just rapping over them. So that's as close as it gets.
Yeah, cool. All right. What about your favorite genres in music, and what's your favorite maybe song?
Well, I don't have a favorite genre. I mean, I grew up with rock because of my dad being a rock head, listening to AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin, all that stuff. Then eventually me finding out electronic music, started listening to, you might not know him, but his name is Skrillex. And then after the years, I started listening to more house and techno music. But I bounce through genre to genre. I don't really stick to one and listen to one. I just, whatever I feel, I just listen. I like a little bit of everything. Rap, whatever.
Okay, what you would never listen? Maybe there is that genre.
Folk music.
Really?
Like traditional songs of countries. Like, I don't like Greek music at all. I might listen to it. I don't mind it, but you would never see me put a Greek song on play. I don't know why. It's not my thing.
So it's safe to say that this year's Greeks Eurovision song won't be played by you?
No. No Greek. No
Eurovision.
Cyprus, no Eurovision. Nothing.
All right.
Makes sense.
So what about you?
Yeah, like similar to Alex, my dad was and still is a big fan of heavy metal. So I was brought to like Rammstein concerts and Metallica and Scooter when he was like a big thing. I'm not really sure if that counts as heavy metal, but he's definitely that like rock metal type of thing. And on the other hand, my mom was always listening to Latvian music and Latvian hip-hop. And like I mentioned, the name to me was given because of her favorite Latvian rapper. But for me specifically, I guess Latvian hip-hop is the most listened genre, because I find it interesting how in many different ways the rappers are able to play with words and make like word games out of them, and when the word has multiple meanings and they are just toying with them, I think it's incredibly cool, and it requires such high knowledge of language and understanding behind it that it's actually quite ridiculous when you think about it as a concept as a whole. But I also enjoy English rap, more specifically Logic. I think he, maybe not so much in the recent time, but back in the days, like 2014, 2016, he was dropping bangers after bangers, and everybody who listens to rap knows his album, The Incredible True Story, but I just want to plug it in. If you haven't listened to it, give it a chance. You will be surprised about how great a project from a rapper can be. So that's for me.
Yeah, I'm wearing his merch right now.
Yeah, speaking of which, yeah, Alex knows the real deal. So.
Yeah.
That just means that what I said is actually true, because as we heard, Alex doesn't listen to bad music. So if he's rapping out the Logic's merch, then you know it's good.
Yeah. Cool. I used to listen calm and English songs through the whole, since I ever know myself. Yeah, sometimes I listen to Russian music, but not that much. And usually I listen old music because when I was smaller, I was watching those TV channels where only songs, and my mom was listening to them, and I was with her, and usually it was the 80s, and so yeah, I like this music. How do you have such behavior and attitudes to listen to different music, or maybe stick with one? Is it goes from childhood or maybe some other places? How do you think?
Well, I mean, depends from the person. Depends. This subject has many variables to it. It comes down to how a person grew up, personality of someone. But listening to a lot of music isn't really a bad thing. But listening to a specific type of music is also not bad. Like, anyone and everyone can do whatever they want. Now, as an artist, on the other hand, changing your genre from a heavy metal band and then write a hip-hop song, it doesn't make sense. Your fan base, the guys who listen to you, love your music because you produce heavy metal music, and if you go and do another thing, they won't really follow you, and it doesn't make sense. But as a person, truly depends on anyone. It doesn't hurt to listen to everything or just one thing. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yeah, no, I definitely think there is some truth in what Alex said. As a consumer of music, obviously it doesn't hurt you in any way to listen to as many genres as possible or to as many artists as possible, because maybe the wider your field of vision is, the more you can also compare and get to a better understanding which type of music you like and which you dislike. But as an artist, I think there is a fine line when you are kind of transitioning from a genre to a genre. For example, if a hip-hop artist decides to make different type of music, it is a risk, like Alex said, but if it can be successfully implemented, then I think it can be quite a nice experiment. Yes. Also, by jumping into a brand new genre, you are potentially gaining a wider audience. You're reaching more people because, for example, they wouldn't listen to your usual stuff, and then you drop a project into this different kind one, and you are attracting more people. They're like, okay, let's maybe check his or hers other stuff. So,
but it also can work on different sides.
Of course.
It's a two-sided blade.
Yeah.
I mean, it can work out. We've seen it many times. I mean, best example I can give right now is MGK, switching from hip hop to, like, what does he do now? Like punk rock,
pop punk.
Yeah, like something like that, and he made it work. I mean, good for him, but it's a risk. You never know if it will work. You can make it work, but you have to be smart about it. You can't really just wake up in a day and just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this today." It doesn't work like that.
Why? If the mood changed.
It's like you working as, I don't know, a pilot for, like, you know, airplanes, and then you go work in a farm overnight.
Why not?
Yeah, but in time you will learn the job, but you won't know the job right away.
So it takes time to get.
It takes time. It takes planning before making that switch.
But isn't music is music, and if you will change the genre, then it wouldn't be a big change.
That's like saying, for example, since we are esports business students, let's imagine that we are primarily playing CS2, and you are like, okay, now let's play, I don't know, Rocket League.
Okay.
You see, like, we would have some knowledge to, like, a certain point, but if we would have 4K hours in CS and you make us play Rocket League, or we decide to play Rocket League, we are taking a huge leap of faith into what we don't know, into the unknown, and we have slim to none idea what we're actually doing. And it doesn't matter the 4K hours, they don't have any impact anymore. Just because we are familiar with the field doesn't mean, for as an artist, it wouldn't mean that they would succeed in other genres.
There are some switches that make sense. Like if you're in rock and then you make hard rock, metal songs, it makes sense to like, it's not, it is a difference, but is in under the same umbrella, let's say, of that genre. Or if you're an R&B artist and make hip hop, or hip hop you make R&B or rap, that's the same under the same umbrella. Same goes with DJ producers. People make house, tech house, and techno music, which is again under the same category.
Can you explain tech house and?
It's different genres. House music is more, I wouldn't say melodic, but it's a more like chill, relaxed tech house. It works a little bit more with beats, and techno, it's a little bit more hardcore. It's like the heavy metal of the electronic music.
So DJing can be not only for parties and stuff. It's also can.
You hear DJs everywhere. I mean, you hear DJs on the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
all the
called
time.
Radio DJs. Yeah.
There are DJs that go to a studio. Most of the time, they pre-record the set. That they would play on the radio, but most varies from person to person. But a lot of them live DJ, they record and then they put on the radio. A lot of them use a software to put the songs together for the radio, and they kind of make it like it's the same effect as a real person DJing, but because it's on a radio or YouTube, when you do a mashup or whatever, they want to have everything perfect. They don't want any imperfections, so they use software. I don't like that. I don't really. I think it's cheating, but anyone can do anything.
International fairs where Alex was DJ.
Oh yeah.
It's just an event, but we had DJ who was making sounds with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I was producing like, I would say like background music, so people can. So it would kill the like silence, but like it wouldn't be just people talking, you know. So there's a lot of people like DJing can go to like events and
Weddings.
Weddings. Well, that's considered a party at this point.
Yeah.
But they can go to like a street festival where, you know, there's some exhibition or whatever. There's a DJ playing music, so people have something to listen to.
What do you think? Maybe you even tried to manage with this, but I heard that when you're a teenager, sometimes your peers trying to judge you because of your music taste. Have you ever feel it on yourself, and maybe in some situations?
I guess I can say that in a sense. Earlier on, because I was always listening to Latvian music even when it wasn't considered to be a popular thing to do, and I did face some backlash because they were always listening to, I don't know, in 2016 it was Bruno Mars, not even 2016, even slightly earlier, like Bruno Mars was blowing up and those type of like pop singers, so it was trendy to follow them, but I was still sticking to my guns, sticking to what I was familiar with. And now, since I believe like 2018, when the biggest Latvian rapper dropped his biggest project and it won, later on in 2020 he also dropped a different one and it won the golden microphone in Latvia, people started looking at Latvian hip hop differently. So now I think it's safe to say that Latvian hip hop is at its peak, and it's just that people love it. They're like joining the trends, listening to it. So technically speaking, for the same thing that you get praised now, you got bashed earlier. So I stuck with what I felt like is for me, and it has paid off now. Everybody is in it, and I have the knowledge because I've been in it for years. And in the end, I guess I'm the winner, if you could say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in summary, yes, there was some how would you call them, some unenjoyable experiences with people judging your taste, but other than that, it was nothing serious than us being kids and just being ruthless to each other.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, sure. I mean, right now, I have people like, maybe I would listen to something like, are you actually listening to this? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay. They make a face or something, but I don't really care. I mean, I like what I like. You like what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, for sure there was someone that might have said something, but I have the mind of no, I don't care, so I just throw it out of my mind and don't even think about it.
What about your job, like DJing and making songs? Do you feel that your songs were judged for something?
Early stages, yeah. I mean, when you start, you have zero knowledge. I mean, throughout time, you get better, of course, and people start like looking at you differently. But when I was starting, even myself, I was like, I'm not good at this. But you know, after practicing a lot, I mean, I have people that know me for years but never heard me. They knew I was DJing, but they never heard me DJ live. And then when they heard me DJ live, they were like, what? And they were like amazed. And I was like, yeah,
That's me.
yeah.
What about you, your songs?
I could rant about this for like all night because
Really?
yeah, when I started, it was more of a joke because we were playing this GTA 5 roleplay thing called 5M, and the very first songs that I made were in the scene of the roleplay, so I wasn't actually talking about my things, my problems or anything that's actually real to me. It was something based off a video game's character, but knowing that I got accepted into Kamk, I finally decided to like go public with it and to drop the first EP. So if I wouldn't have joined Kamk and I would still be studying in Latvia, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have continued making music. So this was my reasoning for that, because I know that I would be so far away from everybody who could potentially judge me, although I didn't know that they would do it for certain, but it helped me mentally to know that I'm like literally, I don't know, 10 hours away from home and they can't reach me, their opinion doesn't bother me. And now looking back to all the songs, I cringe all the time because I realize that they're bad, but at the time I didn't know any better. And like Alex said, you only get better by having practice, and the more experience you have, the better you can be. So now I'm finally getting to that point where I'm actually enjoying what I'm making. Of course, being a perfectionist, it hurts because you always hear something that didn't go too well. Even at the point when you like finished it and released it, you thought, okay, it's actually like fire. And then weeks or even months pass by and you look back to it and like, okay, I should have done this differently. But that's kind of the beauty in it, because you can compare, and as long as you are progressing, you're older, projects will always seem worse. So I guess it's a good thing I get uneasy with my old songs, and they are making me uncomfortable and embarrassed. So,
what do you think? How do you think? Is there the stop point, like, or can you get the perfect genius in the music? Is there this stop point, or you can grow until you die, or until something happen?
You're
Yeah,
always
that's where I was.
improving, and in my situation is because I'm not really a traditional music artist or whatever. I'm DJing with equipment. Equipment always through time gets better and better. I mean, you can see it throughout the years. People started playing on vinyls, and they started playing with CDs. Now we're playing with USBs and laptops.
Mm-hmm.
And as much technology advances, it gets, well, in a sense, easier. But throughout the years, new stuff come out, and new ways of DJing, and new stuff getting implemented into the software that makes things easier, or you can do more stuff or more different stuff with that. If you took me back to the 90s with just 2 turntables and a mixer, I couldn't do 1% that I can do now, because it's so much different. And throughout the years, after in 10 years, maybe something else comes up and it changes the game completely.
As long as you are successfully moving on with the technology and what is trending at the point, and as long as you can successfully do that, you will definitely continue growing. And statistically speaking, I saw this graph a month ago where it was mentioned that musicians' peak years are from their age of 20 until 29, which does seem odd to me, because I think the wiser you get, the better music perhaps you can make, and then you can counterpoint that you are not reaching the youngest or the younger audience when you are 30 plus, right? Well, some might think that. But I don't think that's too big of a deal, because as long as you have established yourself a fan base and you are getting recognized as somebody who knows his or her stuff, then I think you can just keep on doing what you're doing, and there's no peak, there's no stopping. And as long as you enjoy what you're doing on your own, then I think you can just keep on playing until the day that you get transferred to the other world.
Right now, AI is playing a big role into the industry. We even have artists like Drake using AI to put Tupac's voice in a song. He later got sued because he didn't have the right to, but it's crazy that you can take someone's voice that's not with us anymore and make it sound like them, like he's singing in 2024 where he's not with us. Imagine in any industry, not just music, like beat makers just putting into AI, making me a beat, a hip-hop beat from the 90s, and they make the beat and they're done in 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
With that, it kind of for me, it's losing the art of it.
Soul also.
Yeah, a lot of, don't quote me on this, but I think a lot of countries started doing laws on this. Well, AI music isn't considered real, and you can't really use it commercially or something like that, which is good, because then anyone and everyone can be an artist without having tiny bit of knowledge or background with it.
Isn't it a history? I think old songs are made just for being like a history, and you're listening and you're moving to this time which was before. While when AI doing everything, you're just losing the soul and losing this feeling of time and artist at all.
Yeah, it is. I mean, AI is good. A lot of people use it. I use it to help me, but I don't use it to make music from zero.
How do you think how culture affects your music taste? Or maybe it's not the culture.
No, I definitely believe that the environment that you have been brought up or have been living in is definitely affecting your music choice or the genres that you enjoy. Because who knows to what I would be listening now if it wouldn't be for my mom at the very beginning when I was a kid putting on Latvian hip hop and she's like, yo, let's listen to this, you know, this bangs, this is good. So yeah, at the same time, for example, when I got a bit older, I was still considering listening to Latvian music. Some of my classmates started exploring the English music, some switched to Russian music. So it definitely is the environment that plays a huge role in what you are listening to and what you actually like or dislike. And for example, if your parent or some other person that you were always spending time together with would be listening to a certain music, you would simply get tired of it if you don't like it, and you would grow like some kind of hatred towards it, and you just couldn't listen to it anymore. And although you would listen to it and you would consider it good, you would simply be just too tired to listen to it because it was something that you have, I wouldn't say a PTSD from, but it's like something that you had on repeat and repeat all the time, and you can't bear to listen to it anymore because it's just too much. So
yeah, I have a sad story about one Russian musician. I was really small, and my mother and my sister went to the concert of this artist, and they left me alone. And I was really sad at this time, so I never listened to this artist again, and I just hate him. Yes. Okay, we are going to the end of our show, and thank you so much for going until the end, and thank you for being my guest today. It was really nice talk. And where are we going now?
Belgium.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Alright. Yalla.
New music soon, stay tuned. Rajix, every platform, you know already. Peace.